school or elementary school or middle school.
Yeah.
So starts off with Hamlet returning from his journey. He comes upon the gravedigger singing, and Hamlet tries to find out who the grave is for, and is digging around and finding around. And he finally approaches and starts off the gravedigger talking to the other people, saying, "Is she to be buried in a Christian burial when she willfully seeks her own salvation?"
I tell thee she is. Therefore make her grave straight. The crowner hath sat on her, and find it Christian burial.
"How can that be, unless she drowned herself in her own defense?"
Why, 'tis found so.
"It must be. It cannot be else. For here lies the point. If I drown myself wittingly, it argues an act, and an act hath three branches. It is to act, to do, to perform. Argal, she drowned herself wittingly."
Nay, but hear you, goodman Delver.
"Give me leave. Here lies the water good. Here stands the man good. If the man go to this water and drown himself, it is, will he nil he goes, mark you that. But if the water come to him and drown him, he drowns not himself. Argal, he that is not guilty of his own death shortens not his own life."
But is this law?
"Aye, Mary ist Crowner's quest law."
Well, hath the truth on t. If this had not been a gentlewoman, she should have been buried out Christian burial. Sorry, my thing's cut off.
"Why, there thou say'st, and the more pity that great folks should have countenance in this world to drown or hang themselves more than they're even Christian. Come, my spade, there is no ancient gentleman but gardeners, ditchers, and grave markers." And they hold up Adam's profession.
Was he a gentleman?
"He was the first that ever bore arms."
Why, he had none.
"What, art a heathen? How dost thou understand the scripture? The scripture says Adam digged. Could he dig without arms? I'll put another question to thee. If thou answerest me not to the purpose, confess thyself."
Go to.
"What is he that builds stronger than either mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?"
The gallows maker, for that frame outlives 1,000 tenants.
"I like thy wit. Well, in good faith, the gallows does well. But how does it well? It does well to those that do ill. Now, thou dost ill to say the gallows is built stronger than the church. Argal, the gallows may do well to thee. Truth again come."
Who builds stronger than a mason, a shipwreck, or a carpenter?
"Aye, tell me that, and unyoke."
Marry, now I can tell.
"Truth."
Mass, I cannot tell.
"Cudgel thy brains no more about it, for your dull ass will not mend his pace with beating. And when you are asked this question next, say, a grave maker. The houses he makes last till doomsday. Go, get thee in, and fetch me a stoup of liquor." "In youth, when I did love methought it was very sweet to contract, oh, the time for my behove. Methought there was nothing meet."
Has this fellow no feeling of his business? He sings in grave making.
Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
'Tis in so the hand of little employment hath the daintier sense.
"But age with his stealing steps hath clawed me in his clutch, and hath shipped me into the land as if I had never been such."
That skull had tongue in it and could sing once. How the gnaw jowls it to the ground, as if there came jawbone that did the first murder. This might be the pate of politician. I don't want to say that. Politician, which this asks now oranges, one that could circumvent God, might it not?
It might, my lord.
Or of a courtier, which could say, Good morrow, sweet lord. How does thou, sweet lord? This could be the lord, such a one that praised my lord, such a one's horse when he went to dig it, might it not?
My lord.
Why and so, and now my lady's worms, chapless and knocked about the marsard with a sexton's spade. Here's fine revolution, and we had the trick to seat. Did these bones cost no more than breeding, but to play at logits with them, mine ache to think on't.
A pickaxe and a spade, for and a shrouding sheet. Oh, a pit of clay for to be made, for such a guest is meet.
There's another. Why may not that be the skull of a lawyer? Where be his quiddits now, his quiltes, his cases, his tenders, and his tricks? Why does he suffer this mad knave now to knock him about the sconce with a dirty shovel, and will not tell him of his action of battery? This fellow might be in's time a great buyer of land, with his statutes, his reckonances, his fines, his double vouchers, his recoveries. Is this the fine of his fines and the recovery of his recoveries, to have his fine pate full of fine dirt, with his vouchers vouch him no more of his purchases, and double ones too, than the length and breadth of a pair of indentures? The very conveyance of his land will sacredly lie in this box, and must the inheritor himself have no more. Ha!
Not a jot no more. Or not a jot more, my lord.
Is not a parchment made of sheepskin?
Ah, my lord, of the calves' skins too.
They are sheep and calves which seek out assurance in that. I will speak to this fellow whose grave this Sirrah.
Mine, sir. Oh, a pit of clay for to be made, for such a guest is meet.
I think it be thine indeed, for those liants in tea.
You lie out on't, sir, and therefore 'tis not yours. For my part, I do not lie in't, yet it is mine.
Thou dost lie in't to be in't, and say it is thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick, therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir. 'Twill away again, from me to you.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
What woman then?
For none neither.
Who is to be buried in't?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she's dead.
How absolute the connive is, we must speak by the card, or equivation will undo us. By the Lord, how do you say that one? Horatio, this 3 years I have took note of it. The age is grown so picked that the toe of the peasant come so near the heel of the counter, begals his kibe. How long thou'st thou been gravemaker?
Of all the days the year, I came to that day that our last King Hamlet overcame Fortinbras.
How long is that since?
Cannot tell you that? Every fool can tell that. It was that very day that young Hamlet was born. He that is mad, and sent into England.
Mary, why was he sent into England?
Why? Because he was mad. He shall recover his wits there, or if he do not, 'tis no great matter there.
Why?
'Twill not be seen in him there. There the men are as mad as he.
How came he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
Faith, e'en with losing his wits.
Upon what ground?
Why, here in Denmark, I have been sexton here, man and boy, 30 years.
How long will a man lie in the earth here he rot?
Faith, if he be not rotten before he die, as we have many pocky courses nowadays that will scarce hold the laying in, he will last you some 8 year or 9 year. A tenor will last you 9 year.
Why he more than other?
Why, sir, his hide is so tanned with his trade that he will keep out water a great while, and your water is a sore decayer of your whoreson dead body. Here's a skull now happily in, you ith the earth 23 years.
Whose was it?
A whoreson mad fellow's it was. Whose do you think it was?
Nay, I not know.
A pestilence on him for a mad rogue. He poured a flagon of Rhenish on my head once. The same skull, sir, was Sir Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This?
Even that.
Alas, poor Yorick! I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath bore me on his back 1,000 times. And now how horrid in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that have kissed, I know not how of. Where be your gibes now, your gabbles, your songs, your flashes of merriment, that we're wont to set the table on a roar, not one now to mock your own grinning, quite chapfallen? Now get you to my lady's chamber and tell her, let her paint an inch thick, to this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that. Prith, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looked o' this fashion in thy earth?
In so.
And smelt so, ta.
In so, my lord.
To what base uses we may return, Horatio? Why may not imagination trace the noble dust of Alexander till he find it stopping a bunghole?
'Twere to consider, too curiously to consider so.
No faith, not a jot, but to follow him thither with modesty enough and likelihood to lead it, as thus Alexander died, Alexander was buried, Alexander returneth to dust, the dust is earth, of earth we make loam, and why of that loam whereto he was converted, might they not stop a beer barrel? Emperus Caesar, dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole to keep the wind away. Oh, that earth which kept the world in awe should patch a wall expel the winter's flaw. But soft a while, here comes the king, the queen, the courtiers. Who is this they follow? And with such maimed rites, this thou betoken the course they follow did with disprate hand fordo its own life. 'Twas of some estate. Couch we awake and mark.
What ceremony else?
This is Latrice, a very noble young mark.
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been afar and large as. Wait, I'm reading that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh.
As we have warranty. Her death was doubtful, but that great command o'ersways the order. She should and ground unsanctified been lodged. 'Tis the last trumpet. For charitable prayers, shards, flints, and pebbles should be thrown on her. Yet here she is allowed her virgin crates, her maiden stuments, and the bringing home of bells and burl.
Must there be no more done?
No more be done. We should profane the service of the dead to sing a requiem and such rest to her as to peace pardoned souls.
And from her fair and polluted flesh may violets spring, I tell thee, churlish priest. A ministering angel shall my sister be when thou liest howling.
What the fair Ophelia?
Sweets to the sweet farewell. I hope thou shouldest have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not have strewed thy grave.
Fall 10 times on that cursed head, whose wicked deed thy most ingenious sense deprived thee of. Hold off the earth a while, till I have caught her once more in my arms. Now pile your dust upon the quick and dead, till of this flat a mountain you have made. To her top old Pelion, or the skyish head of blue Olympus.
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis, whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and make them stand like wounded hearers? This is I, Hamlet the Dane.
The devil take thy soul.
Thou prayest not well, I preent take thy fingers from my throat, for though I am not splenitive and rash, yet I have in me something dangerous, which let thy wisdom fear hold on thy hand.
Pluck them asunder.
Hamlet, Hamlet.
Gentlemen.
Gentlemen. Good my lord, be quiet.
Why, I will fight with him upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer wag.
O my son, what theme? Sorry, I don't know what happened. Wait, which part?
290.
I was gone for a second. Which part?
I think
290, the queen.
Yeah.
The oh my son, what theme?
The for love of God.
Oh, for love of God, forbear him.
Swoons show me what thou do. Whoop, weep, whoop, fight, whoop, fast, whoop, tear thyself, whoop, drink up easel eat a crocodile. I don't douse though come here to whine, to outface me with leaping in her grave, be buried quick with her, and so will I. And if thou prate of mountains, let them throw millions of acres on us, till our ground, singing his pates against the burning zone, make Ossa like a warrant, nay, and thou its mouth, I'll rant as well as thou.
This is mere madness, and thus awhile the fit will work on him. A nun as patient as a female dove, when that her golden couplets are disclosed, his silence will sit drooping.
Hear you, sir, what is the reason that you use me thus? I loved you ever, but it is no matter, let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew, and dog will have his day.
I pray thee, good Horatio, wait upon him. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push. Good Gertrude, set some watch over your son. This grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet thereby shall we see. Till then, in patience our proceeding be.
Okay.
That's it?
That's the end of the scene, yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, let me just make sure it saves.